And hello and good morning. Welcome, everybody. It's the Sunrise Club. And I don't want to blind your faces, but the sun is really beautiful and it's rising behind me. And I will be living here for almost exactly another month or so. And I'm going to miss the sunrise and I'm going to miss the sunset over there. It's going to be different. And yes, if you're wondering, I don't yet know exactly where I will be moving to, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Anyway, good morning. IDRA is moving. I've got a position in Ribbit. I bought this position yesterday and also a few days before that, and a few days before that, and a few days before that. And I'm kind of excited to see what this does now because it seems like a critical mass of traders have jumped on this bandwagon on Twitter, the PJ Matlocks of the world, the Atlas Trading folks of the world. Now they've got other irons in the fire and whatnot, but this is one of the big ones that they keep mentioning. So I'm kind of excited about this one. So we'll be taking a look at that. IDRA pulled back. I thought IDRA might really break out. It did not really break out, and so we are back down below the volume weighted average price, and I don't want anything to do with this one until it really moves. So keep that in mind. It's nice to see you all. We had a first time. John Lash is here for the first time. Hey there. And Patty is here. And Thomas I want to say 8 a.m. First timer. Nice. Oh, Jerry, first time as well. Like you YouTubers are here for the first time. That's absolutely awesome. Welcome. John, I am not back in Arizona. I am here in um, the Woodlands, Texas. That's Lake Woodlands out there. And Sean Campbell. Sean Campbell, where do I know that name? The famous author of Inventory Trading. That's how I know that guy. Here's one of the best books ever written. I'm honored that you're here, man. There it is. Inventory Trading, how I run my trading account like a retail inventory manager. It's just so great. So great. So great. One of the best books ever I read about trading, and a concept that really just rings true. I will send a link out to that book in the email today. If you're not part of the email list, what are you doing? So get on the email list here, sendfox.com/Rob Booker. That should get you there. Let's make sure. So sendfox.com/Rob Booker, and it should take you to a page that looks like this. Yeah, there it is. There you go. It's easy. It's very simple. It's a very simple landing page. So anyway, check that out. I will be looking at IDRA today. I was going to look at MITQ. I was going to look at AUV. Oh, I am going to look at AUVI. Good morning, sunshine. Let's see how you look. You looking good this morning. Let's see here. Got a little Fibonacci action going on. Applied UV, AUVI. Okay, so for those of you that are new here, I'm going to describe to you a series of things, but I'm going to do it out of order. I was interested in AUVI and still am, but what you're going to notice on my charts here, and I will zoom in to the extent possible, what you will notice is this purple line here. This is a monthly pivot. It needs to get and stay above a monthly pivot, or it needs to be below that monthly pivot. Once it gets right to it, what tends to happen is that it will find some resistance there and drop back, which is exactly what it did the first time it got there this morning. It hit it and dropped back. So this is the 5-minute view, and this is the daily view. And it rose and hit that, dropped back, and then it jumped again. And it looks like we got over the hump, and that could be very nice. And I'm very, very excited about it. So excited equals very for me about that. Nice to see you all. Welcome to the broadcast. If you're watching the recording, I go live at 8:30 in the morning Eastern US time a few days a week. And then the rest of the week, I just lay in bed and am sad. No, just kidding. I get some sleep the rest of the week. Anyway, uh, AUVI looks interesting. Let's talk about what we look for and why we look for it. And all month long, I've kind of been doing an open house here of the Sunrise Club. As a reminder, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Most people lose money trading. Please don't forget that. I'm not a guru. I'm not your guru, and I can't make you profitable, and you can't follow my trades into profitability. And I'm no better than anybody else at trading. And I don't do this broadcast to brag about it or say that I'm better or try to sell you something. In fact, there's nothing for sale here. I don't do this in order to sell something. And I'm just here to sort of build trust and share ideas with you. So, with all of that said, I just want to make sure it's clear that if I show you my results, they're not typical unless they're losses, in which case I think it's fair to say that most people lose money. So if I've lost money, that's a pretty typical result. I generally publish my account statement just openly for both main accounts that I trade. I trade a Robinhood account and I trade a Tastyworks account. And I generally just show the whole account, like the entire statement, nothing even blanked out, which probably isn't a great idea, but I just feel like the transparency is important. So if you like the video, leave a like. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can hit a like and whatever. I'm probably going to move some version of this over to its own YouTube channel so that it's just a live market analysis channel completely, so that it's very specific, and then do some education and stuff on the other one. All right, now that I've done that gigantic long preface, I want to talk to you about what I look at pre-market. And this is an amalgamation of stuff that I've learned over the years, stuff that I gleaned from traders that I respect and traders that I followed over the years. And so none of this is truly all the way original, right? Just like anything else, I've combined some ingredients to make my own dish, but they're the same ingredients that other people use as well. I have on my chart the volume weighted average price, which you can find on TradingView by typing in volume weighted average price. It's an average price that is weighted for volume. So a higher volume candle is going to get more weight than a low volume candle. And that's why the volume weighted average price spikes up so much here this morning when AUVI jumps on a lot of volume. I also look at pre-market highs. So I have drawn a line here across the pre-market high so far today. Earlier today, it would have been a little bit lower. And then earlier today, it would have been even lower than that. I look at volume at the bottom. So when a stock has a bunch of volume, say, for instance, hundreds of thousands or ideally millions of shares traded in a 5-minute candle, and it is moving above the volume weighted average price, and it is before the stock market opens, this is a neat combination of events. It means that there are a lot of people buying something, and it is moving higher and breaking through levels. And I like that. That's a nice combination of things. And especially when it moves above the volume weighted average price, I do really like that. I also want to see stocks that have what is referred to as a low float. If you're not familiar with the term, what is float in the stock market? You look at here. The stock float is the total number of shares that are available for public investors to buy and sell. So it's different than the outstanding shares. So there could be 100 million outstanding shares, but 90 million shares on the float because 10 million shares are locked up for some reason or another. A low float stock is really a stock that has lower than 10 million shares on the float. That's the number we really want to see. And so AUVI definitely falls into that category. However, I've looked at stocks, and we have enjoyed looking at stocks that have 50 million float, and we've even traded stocks that have a lower float than that. So I don't want to get out of control here and say that there's a specific number. It's a range, and it's always like the volume compared to the float. When the volume for the day is higher than the float, that's interesting. Yesterday, AUVI traded 221,000 shares as a 7 million share float, and it didn't go anywhere. Today, it's trading millions of shares on a on a 7 million share float. If it gets to the point where it has traded 8, 9, 10 million shares, that means there's more demand for the stock than there are shares even available out there, and they keep turning over and changing hands, and that's good. That's really good. Okay. Well, I'm just making sure I've got that. Let's see. Portia, first time. Portia in South Africa. Sweet. Amir, good morning. Sylvia says, good morning. Can you show how you added the monthly pivots? Okay, so let's go and add the monthly pivots. So I'm going to take these monthly pivots off, and then I'm going to type in standard, pivot points standard. So you pop those up, and then boom, you get all these weird lines on your charts. I double click on those lines, and I choose type traditional, time frame monthly, number of pivots back 30 is fine. Style is lines, visibility, okay, that's fine. I want to see them on all charts. And then down here, I want to uncheck S1, R1, S2, R2. I want to uncheck all of these. I don't need to see all of these lines. And then the pivot, I want to make it purple. And I want to make the line as thick as possible so that I can see it. Oh, maybe they don't do that anymore. Wow. Style. Wow, okay. So I'm going to reverse everything so I can get it back the way I had it. Well, I'm not going to reverse it that far. That's hilarious. Okay, well, I guess there we go. I got my pivots back the way that I like them. Anyway. Oh, I did not get them back the way that I like them. Here we go. Oh, it doesn't go far enough back. Hopefully we can reverse this. I might have to do like an old Superman and fly around the earth in reverse. Okay, it worked. There we go. Got them back the way I like them. And then you got the monthly pivots. Now, these are a magnet for price. Let's take a look at, I want to use gold for this analysis. So gold's got a pivot that hasn't yet been hit. That's going to become a target for price. Like, for example, gold jumped up and ran higher and never hit this monthly pivot in April of 2021. That became a target for price. So, and that's what happens. Let's take a look at RIBT. I bought this a few days ago, then I bought it again, a little bit more of it yesterday. IDRA. Ooh, look at that. That might actually recover a bit. That would be interesting. MITQ, not interested. AUVI, if it goes below that volume weighted average price, it can totally, absolutely, and completely just, I don't care about it. I don't want to trade something that's trading below the volume weighted average price. And then we've got PPSI, which we've seen this one before. Where are we here? So it's on the way up. This is a great example. I'm glad you're here, everybody. Welcome. So it's on the way toward a monthly pivot, which is great. So it might want to get to 447 today, PPSI. And it hasn't gotten there yet today. And you can see the high post market yesterday after the market closed was $4.20. And we're looking for it to break above that level. It's trading 70,000 shares per 5 minutes. It had a big spike here, 351,000 shares. The float is only 2.6 million shares, so that's awesome. Let's go to FinViz and see let's see what the float is. I mean, what the volume is on this. Oh, it's not even in the top 20 today so far. That's not good. What? Wow, it's not even in the top. All right. All right. We're gonna investigate this further. PPSI has traded 2 million shares so far. So we're going to outtrade the float today on this. This will outtrade its float. We'd love to see this break above 407, 420. I'm not interested in buying it now. It's been jumping above the VWAP and then going back down below it. I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see. Um, so not interested in that. Okay. IDRA, what a bummer. Yeah, that's below the VWAP. So what will happen typically now to something like this, and this is the reason that you use a stop loss, what will typically happen now is this, now that it has dropped below the volume weighted average price, it will probably drift lower for the rest of the day. MITQ is already doing that. And it might even find its way back up to the volume weighted average price and then drop and then continue lower. And you've got AUVI doing the same thing. So what is moving higher this morning? So you can go to places like Market Chameleon. You can get a lot of free information here. Stocks, pre-market trading on Market Chameleon, and you can see what's up the most. ONON. Let's just take a look at it. Sometimes these look real stupid. Like this doesn't look great. It's already dropping and not a lot of volume here. We're talking about a float of 165 million, and it's only traded 52,000 shares in a 5-minute period of time. So it's not. So Market Chameleon only gets you so far. A lot of these are pretty typical. Pin Duo. Ugh, the stock. Yeah, that's nothing. So not enough volume. So you can look at Market Chameleon and you can look at volume instead on the most active screen. IMPP, so it's petroleum. Whoa. Is oil dropping today? Not that bad. What about UNG today? Yeah, maybe energy drops today. IMPP, that's not good for them. Oh, I could have seen this myself. I could have just looked at it. BRDS. So that's below the VWAP. So even though it's up on volume today from yesterday, it's not enough for me to get super interested. Yeah. So that's Market Chameleon. You can check that out. That's free. I think they have a lot of other screens that you might be interested in as a subscriber, maybe. But yeah. Anyway. Alrighty then, AUVI, MITQ, IDRA, RIBT. This is all just not really moving very much today. So sometimes we're right in the range of time where we get possibly a move. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's take your comments. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, so Space Cowboy says that IMPP is doing an offering. Okay. Yep. So for those of you that are not familiar with what an offering is, that means that they needed to raise money, and so they're diluting the stock. So dilution tracker. So you could use dilution tracker. I don't know if I don't pay for this anymore, so I think you might. Oh no, there he goes. So you could search for an instrument that you look at, and then you can see if they possibly might offer more stock in order to dilute it. So when Elon Musk was offering to buy Twitter originally, Twitter was going to use a poison pill, and that means Twitter was going to issue more shares of stock, dilute everybody, but make it much, much more difficult for Elon to accumulate the shares necessary to buy the company. And it turned out he's probably not going to buy it anyway, right? Like, I mean, right? Isn't that what it looks like now? I mean, the offering price is now, I mean, oh, he sets a condition. Okay. Oh, so he's backing out, or he's trying to get a lower price. Let's see what Twitter's price is. Oh, yeah. Way below the offering price now, and right at a monthly pivot. So this is kind of what I talked about earlier. For those of you that this is actually what I was talking about earlier, was the fact that once this monthly pivot is established, and if price rises and moves away from it, eventually it wants to go back down to it, and it can bounce off of that level even though it's from last month. And it works in reverse as well. So this pivot was missed as price went down, and then eventually it wanted to go back up to 44, and turns out it jumped above it and then kind of came right back down to it. So little support and resistance stuff with pivot points. RIBT trying to stay above the 200 period moving average. We'll see if it can. I don't know. It hasn't. It traded a little bit more volume just a little while ago. I would love to see this trade way more volume than it has so far, and I'm going to need to see it do that. I have a stop loss under like 50 cents. So, wow, we're not really seeing a lot here. What do we got to do here? See what the group. Not looking good. AUVI. Oh, I was going to stream in Telegram too. Sorry. I forgot that I have to do this. There we go. So I'm also in Telegram. Sorry, everybody. I have to manually start the broadcast in Telegram. I got it. I got it now. We're back. We're on. I won't forget to do that on a regular basis. Yeah. A little off my game there. Ugh. All right, so we're just waiting now. Now it's kind of a wait and see. IDRA, maybe it can go. We'll see here. PPSI, see, it didn't jump and stay above the volume weighted average price. So there you go. What else are you looking at in the trade room, everybody? Anything else, or have we pretty much looked at everything that we might be interested in for the day? It doesn't see, usually by around now we're watching one of these that we look at move above the VWAP and go. JMIA. Let's see what the daily looks like here. It looks okay. I mean, a lot of these that move have been doing badly, and it looks like we're buying terrible stocks. But in some cases, not all cases, but in some cases, there's some kind of news that's coming out this morning that is making the stock look more attractive to buyers. And maybe it beat earnings, maybe it got news about a patent application, maybe the FDA approved its drug to move through the trial process another step further or whatnot. So we look for those kinds of things. And when you combine a little bit of news with enthusiasm from traders around the web, with breaking through technical levels and lots of volume, you get a kind of a fundamental technical picture that lines up pretty nicely. It doesn't mean that they're great long-term investments. It just means that maybe for the day or two or three, we've got a stock that's got some good news, and hopefully it can continue. Like, you don't want it to not. But a lot of these that make it on our list in the morning, one of the reasons they're moving so well is that they're they've dropped so far, and they finally became a bargain for people in some cases, and then the news is a catalyst for moving it. So, you see all of these right here. I mean, none of them look very good. I mean, actually, RIBT does look pretty good. And with commodity prices sort of going out of control, it's a neat story, especially above the recent high of 65 cents or above like 70 cents. There's some possibilities there. Where are their missed monthly pivots? Supposedly at $1. That looks like it might have been hit though. This is a truly missed. Well, I'm not sure about that because it tried $1.25. Where else? Is there anything else on here? There's got to be. This is a truly. Nope, it's not. It hit it over here. That's funny. Okay, this one, $2.50. So $2.50 on RIBT is a truly missed pivot level. Days back. I don't think I can go further than 900 days back. Nope. 700 is the furthest I can go back. Anyway, so yeah, that makes $2.50. In a perfect world, that makes it the target. It's not going to get there. I own 10,000 shares, I think, of this, so I would like for this to move. But remember, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. I'm not telling you that you should buy this stock. I'm telling you that I really like it when it breaks above some of these levels. And it's got some work to do. It's got to get above 64, 65 cents next. If it did it, I would probably be willing to buy a little bit more. POAI is moving this morning as well. Sorry, just trying to, there we go. There we go. But it jumped up and then immediately dropped back. So not particularly thrilled with that one. No. JMIA, that does look interesting, but not that interesting. Yep. So there we are. It's a slow day. Usually we would know. Usually we would have an idea by now about what's moving. What is going on? So what is it that's moving today? Nothing really so far. And we can go back to Market Chameleon and whatnot, but there's how are the bigger, broader markets here? So IWM is up. SPY is up. So maybe it's a bullish day there. UVXY is down. Is this a bullish day? Wow. So Apple's having a nice day. Amazon's having an okay day. Microsoft's having an okay day. You may have seen the news. Michael Burry of The Big Short, he established a short position in Apple. He's probably already getting paid on that. It's already dropped, but I thought that was interesting. So maybe it's a bullish day here. What about the Qs? Q. I always type too many Qs. Maybe this is the move today. When I look at some of those low float names and whatnot, and I see that going on, and they're not really moving, and they're not doing the stuff that we look for. Sometimes it's the indexes that are tradable for that day. I'm, not, I don't trade the indexes very often. Excuse me. So it's not like I'm, thrilled about that or whatever. All right. Well, there you go. It's kind of I had a feeling about this. Kind of a boring day. It's not a day where I would say, "Oh yeah, you can't miss this." I think you can. I think you could miss today and not really worry too much about it. I'm going to put an alert on RIBT if it rises above 64 cents because I'm going to buy more of it if it does. One thing I have done in the past badly is I have added in some cases to losing trades and I have not added to winning trades. And I would like to change that. I'd like to turn around and maybe do a better job of that. So keep an eye on those things. We're about 13 minutes away from the open. On a day like today when nothing much is happening, I would like to just maybe come back to this only if things really get moving. Otherwise, I think I would just like to avoid it and not try to force anything. I don't like MITQ. I do like AUVI. This, for me, though, once again, I need to see this get above the highs of the pre-market session. Volume's good. Volume's good. If it breaks above that pre-market high, it will be above the VWAP. The volume will be good. It will be above the pre-market high. And let's take a look and see if Twitter knows anything about what's happening here with this. Let's see what the news is. Let's make sure this is today. May 17th. Announces inclusion in a multi-million-dollar contract offering throughout non-public schools in the state of Washington. Yeah, that's garbage news. It means that I'm not going to like fall in love with this stock all day long. It's good enough news that you say, okay, they've got some good news. Fundamentally, maybe things are turning around for this company. All right, maybe. And if we get volume and if we get technical analysis, we get a nice fundamental technical fit for the day. I would say this is now the one to watch for the rest of the day. And then we'll take a look at MULN as well. I like AUVI above $1.39. Okay. There we go. All right, friends. I really enjoy spending time with you in the mornings. Take a look at AUVI. If it breaks 138, probably get to 141, then 148, and 156 would be a nice target, in my opinion. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss, not suitable for all traders. I am not going to trade this one. I don't. I want to, be an analyst for this one for you, and I'm not going to get in this one. And then a stop loss would have to go around $1.25, and at the lowest below $1.20. Okay, have a good one. I'll see you in the trade room for those of you that are members, and otherwise, I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye for now.